reality.
At 10 minutes to 10 a.m. as we head towards closure of this morning's edition of News and Views. It's time now to link up with Yusuf Abramjee. We're talking about the Zwarkops drive-through site in Centurion. We're talking vaccine administration. And we have learned that the 25,000th vaccine was administered at that site. Yusuf, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome as always.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, brother Inayet, and lovely being on Salam Media again.
Yes, Jazakallah for your time. Now, obviously, this was quite a defining moment. 25,000, the 25,000th vaccine that was administered at the site. And I know you've been tweeting, I've been following your messaging continuously with regard to dates coming out of that site. Now, clearly, this was a defining moment.
Indeed, we started the site just over 42 plus days ago. It was Shawne's first drive-through vaccination site based on the very successful Houghton Masjid Muslim Association of South Africa drive-through in Johannesburg. And reaching the 25,000 mark within 42 days, we believe is a significant milestone. In fact, we had the Premier of Gauteng, David Makura, the MEC for Health, Dr. Mogeti. We had all the volunteers, about 161 of them, together with the sponsors, together with other partners at the Zwarkops Raceway yesterday, to celebrate not only the achievement, but volunteerism at its best. You know, these members of our community, Inayet, doctors, professors, medical students, nurses, paramedics, ordinary members of the community doing vaccinations, doing admin, doing traffic control. Sometimes the queues go up to 2 or 3 kilometers. Really make us feel proud to be South African, and it, in the true spirit of being active citizens, we saw that how we could all benefit from, how the community at large could benefit from the vaccinations. Now we know that the feedback on social media about the Zwarkops drive-through, which is along the R55 just outside Laudium, has been brilliant, and we pride ourselves on giving friendly service, efficient service. Obviously, not a cent being charged. We are not being paid a cent. All these volunteers, actually, most of them have taken money out of their pockets, sacrificed their practices, simply to serve the community, to create a safer South Africa, and to fight the pandemic, and to create a safer world, Inayet.
Yes. Now, also, I think there were concerns about the vaccine rollout in South Africa, and it is sites like these, like the Zwarkops drive-through site, you mentioned Houghton, and we see many more that have sprung up right across the entire country, that is going a long way in obviously achieving what we want to achieve. And the key issue here is, as a nation, we know that there is this huge emphasis on reaching a herd immunity, Yusuf.
Indeed, we know that a lot of people in Inayet are still very reluctant, have been reluctant to take the jab, but I think the Premier made a very valid point. The Zwarkops drive-through has seen a lot of anti-vaxxers changing their minds and coming to get the jab. Now, we know we don't want to force anyone to take the vaccine. It's your choice, it's your right. But I think I want to repeat a point I made in my address yesterday. Let's not also be hypocrites. We've seen a number of people who are anti-vax, especially members of our own community, who say it's haram to take the vaccine, and yet we have evidence that they've been quietly, some of them have been quietly paying bribes to get the certificate and to falsely claim that they've been given the jab without taking the vaccine. These hypocrites not only put their own lives at risk, they put other people's lives at risk, because we know that travel is now almost compulsory to get a certificate. So let's not play the game and be two-faced here. If you want to take the jab, you take it. If you don't want to take it, you're not going to be able to travel. But don't tell your friends and your colleagues that it is haram to take the jab, and you go and commit fraud by paying for these vaccination cards and claiming that you took the vaccine. That's the first point. Secondly, I think it's important that we continue to spread the message of vaccines, the safety. Let's believe and let's listen to the scientists and the doctors. A lot of false messages have been doing the rounds. Yes, the numbers are not as big as we want them to be in South Africa. I think we're close to 6 or 17 million. There's still a long way to go. And there's now talk in Inayet of a fourth wave. And long before the fourth wave arrives, let's do the right thing. Let's protect ourselves. Let's protect our families. The point I was making yesterday is that 25,000 plus vaccines mean that 25,000 people possibly being saved from ICUs and high care units, 25,000 people who are protected, 25,000 people who can simply but slowly but simply return their lives to normal. And let's be very honest about it. COVID has claimed thousands and thousands of lives in South Africa as well. Members of our family, our friends, our community, our ulama have lost their lives. So let's take all the precautions. Let's make sure that we continue to spread the message of the vaccine. And wouldn't it be lovely if we can get eventually 50 million plus of our South Africans jabbed, so that we can return to normality and really get out our lives.
Yes. Now, Yusuf, what I found quite interesting is the people that are coming to be vaccinated, and the report that I've read talks about people coming in their vehicles, some coming on bicycles, motorcycles, minibuses, buses. So people from all walks of life are coming through to this vaccine site.
Indeed, we've seen people coming in all forms of transport. Some of them, when it's busy days, have to wait in queues of up to 2 or 3 kilometers, but they don't complain. They sit in the comfort of their vehicle, coming to get the jab. We offered both Pfizer and J&J vaccines. And because we've been running for over 2 days in Inayet, we decided that because we have fatigue from even the volunteers, these people have their own businesses and practices to run and their own jobs. So we'll be running the site on Saturdays from this coming week, every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And really, important that we also emphasize that if people have taken the Pfizer vaccine and you are due for your second one, please do not hesitate. You can go to any site. Remember, you have private sites, you have community sites, and you have government sites. Some of these private sites do charge your medical aid. We, as a partnership between the Gauteng government and the community, did not charge medical aid. We don't even know whether you got medical aid or not. It's a complete free service. But I think it's important that we tell our listeners and our community, vaccines do save lives. Make sure you go out there in full force, get your vaccinations. And I would assume, Inayet, it's only a question of weeks before teenagers will be allowed to get a jab as well. And we've seen that it's already happening in some countries.
Yes, and just finally, I believe the volunteers, the sponsors, obviously will be receiving special awards, because these are people that have they've made massive sacrifices, as you pointed out, Yusuf.
Indeed. In fact, yesterday, the Premier and the MEC and site management signed every certificate. We awarded them to all 161 plus volunteers, as well as our supporters. And alhamdulillah, the business community especially, right from bucklers, the African Lodge on the banks of the Crocodile River, to Adcock Ingram, Easy Build. I can go on. Vodacom, one phone call to Shamil Yusuf secured us about 8 tablets so that we could capture the information on the EVDS system very quickly. People have been coming forward, giving food to the volunteers, local restaurants and takeaways. People have been bringing ice creams, cupcakes. So the support from the community overall has been fantastic. I mean, a large company, Lazarus Motor Company in Centurion, came forward and said that we will sponsor all the gazebos for the next few months. We'll support you with some of your consumables. So alhamdulillah, the support from the business community has been brilliant. And I wish to take this opportunity to say to them, thank you for standing up and making a difference. Thank you for taking care of our country. And thank you for being patriotic. Let's continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic at every turn, Inayet.
Yes, sometimes, Yusuf, I think what you say is so important is we actually forget the logistics that are involved. It's a massive logistical operation, and to put all of that into place, and as you mentioned, all the sponsors making sure that the vaccine site operates efficiently and effectively, and at the end of the day, to serve the purpose that it is meant to serve.
Indeed, in fact, I want to pay tribute to all my fellow management team members, especially the site manager, Ahmed Ismail, who's the first one in, last one out, all the other executive members, the doctors, the people that have been involved, the people that spurred us on to take the step. Ben Bulbulia from the Gauteng Premier's office, the Premier and the MEC visiting our site repeatedly. And alhamdulillah, I think we can stand up proud to say that while we have a long way to go in vaccinating our nation, we as a community have made a small mark in a very small way, and we believe that is significant in any event.
Well, Yusuf, as always, Jazakallah, we appreciate you taking time out, talking to us, and we wish you all the best, inshallah. We wish you safety, we wish you good health, and everybody else that are involved with you at the site. Please take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ameen. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
That was Yusuf Abramjee joining us this morning, providing us with an update on what had taken place at the Zwarkops drive-through vaccination site in Centurion. And with that, the time is just hit at 10 a.m. It's time for me to sign off. Inshallah, I'll be back with you once again. And for myself and the rest of the team, it's been wonderful. It's been great being in your company on this Monday morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.